Hey, everybody. Welcome. How y'all doing tonight? Hello, Master Coupe. You were early. You beat me to it. Mabrini's in the house. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Karen. Yes, we are live. Hopefully you can see us now. Give me a thumbs up if you can see me. I'm trying to do this without my glasses. Hey, I'm Dr. Gina Page. Today is Wednesday, July 22nd. And you know how we do. We're AfricanAncestry.com, the pioneers of genetic ancestry tracing for Black people around the world. We are on a mission to transform the way we view ourselves and the way we view Africa. And we do that through DNA. We take your DNA confidentially, ethically, and we compare it to the DNA from African populations all across the continent to look for your ancestry, to look for people who share the same ancestry that you do on your mother's line going back 2,000 years, or your father's line going back 2,000 years. So we are the only company that can reconnect you down to the present day country in Africa and ethnic group. And we are very honored to have been doing this work since 2003. That's what I mean when I say pioneer. Wasn't nobody else doing this like we do it way back then. Back in the day, we can say back in the day, I think, now that it's been 17 years. Tony's here, Anisha's here, Mia's here, Shalisa's here. Everybody's here. Hey, Troy. Hey, Avanti. Tamara's here. Plachette. Yes, Plachette. We have all these beautiful people who join us every Wednesday, and I'm so grateful for you being here. OMG, of course I said your name, Karen. Rashida's in the house. Randy and Guinea-Bissau, we have got to get you on here. We have got to figure this out. Okay, after this broadcast, I'm gonna hit you up on Facebook. Sandy's here. Barry Payton's representing for NOLA. You all know how he does. Prince and Percy and Drea. Oh my goodness, everybody's here. Marcus Stone, should I debut our theme song, Marcus Stone? I'm kind of feeling like I should. We have a theme song. It just hit me to debut it, and I'm not prepared. I don't know. Curtis is in the house. Okay, Troy, are you an African ancestry family member? I want to hear your story. Tell me if you're a fam. Mary Smith's in the house. Oh, congratulations. She has a new grandson. Everybody, let's shout out Mary. She's a new grandmother. I don't know. She might already be a grandmother, but now she's one again. Beverly, Afua. Oh, my goodness. All of you. Oh, okay. You're Dr. Preston's daughter. I love your dad. I love your father, Afua. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Sharmalita, King Joseph in the house. Okay, I don't know. Blair, I'm gonna see if I can give. We haven't tested out music. See, I want the theme song to hit you the right way. I don't want to half step with it. Shout out to Marcus Stone. I think I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. Okay, so you all, so many familiar faces on here. I'm so happy to see you. You know, I get hyped on Wednesdays at 6:00. So we have been talking about rituals for the past few weeks. As you all know, rituals are critically important to who we are as African people. We started off talking about, what was our first one? Does anybody remember our first one? I'm trying to remember our first one. Our first one was Adorn, yes. And we had some of our family members on here, along with Ashley Company from Jelani Women Travel, and Monty Harris, Dr. Monty Harris, talking about forms of adornment among people in the African diaspora. And that was really fun. We did the head wraps. I don't know how I didn't remember that. And then last week, we talked about rights, and we had Aisha and Dr. Asantewa on, breaking it down and planting seeds of liberation. Whoo, I was really filled by that one. Kwabina's here. Kwabina, we got some Ghanaian names on here. All right. Troy, you are family. Good, good, good. So if you can hit me up in one of the messenger things, you all know I don't know anything. Barry, you're not going to see me dancing. That's not going to happen. Okay. And so tonight we're going to talk about naming. And one of the first things people want to do when they get their results is they want to travel. Well, first thing you want to do is you want to learn as much as possible. Am I right? Actually, why don't you all drop in the comments? What's the first thing you wanted to do when you got your results? I have my ideas based on having talked to so many of you. And if you're just joining us, the people in the comments, most of the people in the comments are part of our over 1 million Black people whose roots we've connected to the continent of Africa. We have a huge community, and African ancestry is not just a test. We are an experience. So it starts with a test, but then you go on this whole journey of exploration with your family, because we're talking about legacy. The result that you get is the same for your brothers and sisters and children and mother and aunts and uncles and cousins and grandmother and great grandmothers, all the people who came before you and those who will come after you. And the African Ancestry online community is like our private society where membership has its privileges. And so I am really excited that so many people, yes, research, travel, learn, exactly, learn the language, learn. Yeah, you guys jump on Google. So many people don't even look at the book that we provide, but they jump on Google and they come on into the African Ancestry online community to learn as much as possible. But you know, another thing that a lot of you have asked us about is names, and how you can get a name and how you can change your name, how that whole process works. And so we wanted to dedicate an episode to naming ceremonies. And I'm so excited about my guest. But before he comes on, I wanted to give you some snapshots of people who've taken the test, who've talked about how they've changed their name. So last night over on IG, we had Mitch Drummond, and Mitch talked about how he had given his children African names. I think he visited Africa maybe in 2017 or 2016, in the mid 2010s. He visited Ghana, but he had given his children African names, and he decided to give himself an African name. And he explored the name Ngozi, but if I remember the story correctly, Ngozi meant God or was close to God or something like that. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna be that presumptuous. So he changed the N to an M and started calling himself Ngozi. So that was sort of an informal name change that he did himself based on what his spirit led him to say about himself. But we've also talked to people like Jason Vassar Elong, who went all the way and actually legally changed his name. And so I wanted to share with you a clip from that interview we did with Jason a couple months ago. Okay, so I think I have to do, I don't know how to do it. You're going to do it, Blair? Wait, he's talking. Oh, here we go. Okay. But we can't hear it. Okay. Well, I would mouth what he's saying, but you wouldn't be able to hear it. Anyway, we'll get that together and we'll share that clip of Jason talking about how he changed his name. Yes, Christopher, yesterday was amazing. Mitch is a great storyteller. If you all have a chance, go on over to Instagram, click on African Ancestry, and then go to our IG Live. Okay, you got it, Blair? Let's go.
Basically, Elong are kind, they're considerate, they're happy even in difficult moments in life. They're honest, you know, and so you want to know how I got my name?
Yeah.
So after I learned about my Bamileke ancestry, I went on and tried to find different groups to join. And so I joined the Cameroon American Council. Well, someone from the Cameroon Royal Council emailed me and said that they were doing a fundraiser. So Gina, I donated some money to this to the cause, thinking that would be the last time I would hear from these folks. Right? I spoke to a woman named Princess Mbasa on the phone. So I get to Silver Spring. This is months later. I get to Silver Spring and I get to the chief's house and I'm getting my name and people are coming in and introducing themselves. And this woman comes up to me. She says, "Hello, my name is Princess Mbasa." And when I told her my name is Jason Vassar, she nearly cried. She's like, "You the guy that gave us all that money." She was the woman that gave the name. She gave me the name Elon. She chose my name for me. And so it's so many connections have led to me becoming who I am today, literally who I am today. I even went so far as to change my name legally to be Vassar Elon. And my wife, God bless her, she took the name Elon with me. She's now Ampy Elon. So, but anyway, let me digress and let you ask some questions.
No, no.
So that was Jason's experience, and that episode can be found over on YouTube. So hopefully, if you want to hear more about his story, you'll join us over there and check out the afternoon session conversation. But I want to tell you about our next our guest for this evening. He is the most amazing, creative, in so many different ways, um, spirit. Dr. George Preston is a New Yorker, and he has such a vast experience in the arts and in academia. In 1973, well, before that, he's a recipient of the Fulbright Fellowship, I think.
Fulbright is a fellowship and plenty of other grants. Back in 1973, before some of you all were even born,
He earned his PhD in the history of art at Columbia University. In 2014, he received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Art Alumni of the City College, City University of New York. In 2016, he was elected to the Pierre Bergère Chair at the Academia Brasileira de Belas Artes in Rio de Janeiro. You can correct my pronunciation on all of those things. But he is an amazing artist. He runs a museum up in, I don't even know if that's the Harlem. I don't know if it's Harlem or above Harlem. Sugar Hill, in Sugar Hill. And this is a wealth of information on so many topics, but we have him with us today to talk about naming. So please, everybody,
join me in welcoming Dr. George Nelson Preston. Hey, hey, hey. All right, all right. Welcome, Dr. Preston.
Glad to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
I love those masks in the background. Look, before we even start talking about names, can you can you tell us about the artwork that's behind you?
These are two rare masks from Gabon, but in particular, you want to look at that square, that rectangular one,
Mm-hmm.
because that is extremely rare, and that type first shows up in a photograph of Juan Gris, a contemporary of Picasso.
Wow.
Um, Around 1912 or so.
Now, Dr. Dr. Preston, is it true that Picasso basically, to use modern day vernacular, basically bit the Fang and all of their art, their mask artistry?
Um, Picasso um, started out really as an academic painter, so to speak. Uh, there were a number of forces in the art world at the time, one of which was the presence of African art in Paris markets. And he began to incorporate certain concepts in African art in his work. So you can say that African art is a major founding force in Cubism.
That's a very good way to say that. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying he stole our art, and I'm gonna say our art was a major founding component in his style. Is that fair?
Right.
Okay, so Dr. Preston, let's start off because I'm calling you Dr. Preston, but you are actually, I don't want to say your name wrong, but you're actually a chief in Ghana. Can you tell us about your experience becoming a chief? I know we have a photo that we can show of that illustrates some of that.
Do you have that photograph?
We do. Let me pull it up. Here we go. There we go.
Okay, I am Nana Anakwa, the Wafahini of Akwapim Mountain. The Akwapim are part of the greater Akan group of people. The ones I think that you're most familiar with are the Ashanti, who are our neighbors just, the Akwapim neighbors just to the north of us, and then down along the coast, the Fanti, and then farther into the Ivory Coast of Balawe. I started my research on art and leadership, the use of art as a tool of leadership in Africa in 1968. And over time, they felt that I had contributed so much to the culture that they wanted to make a change. So that happened in January of 2001. Around 4 o'clock in the morning, armed men knocked on my door and captured me in the name of the people of Akan Mountain. Some herbs were put in my mouth so that I could go through an interregnum between my old self and the chief. There are a lot of episodes that took place that day. I'm taken around to all of the principal intersections of the town where libations are poured. In this photograph, you see me sitting on the ground with the blood of the sacrificial sheep poured on my foot, which then touches the ground, uniting me to that earth and their ancestors.
Wow, that's amazing. So you were given the name Nana.
Yeah, of a very progressive Akwapim Mountain chief who lived during the 1920s.
So tell us what, in general, thank you. Tell us what Kwabena put it up. Thank you, Kwabena. Nana Anakwa, the Abofohen of Akwapim Mamfe, said with a DC accent. Tell us what the significance of naming is. I don't know that we, in general, here in the United States, give a whole lot of thought to what we name ourselves beyond just, if you get your grandmother's name or, some kind of family legacy. But what would you say names represent?
Well, in the last few decades or so, Black Americans have been coming up with some very interesting names. My wife's daughter's name is Memphis Song Washington. And I know you've all heard of felonious sphere monk.
Yes.
But in Africa, names are given for parents, for family ancestors. It may be for a collective ancestor, that is to say, an ancestor who is important to the entire group. Sometimes a name is given for a special place that has a spiritual meaning. It may be given for spirit, or it may combine these things. And then in the Akan people, you always have within one of those selections the day name, the name given for the day on which you were born.
So I think we have a chart of that that Blair's going to pull up. So, and there we go.
Okay, so Sunday, Kwesika. If you're a female, Akosua, and your nickname is Akos. The male is Gracie, sometimes Kwasi. Monday, Ajwada, Adwa, Kojo. Tuesday, Abanada, Abana, Kwana. Wednesday, Wokuada, sometimes Okuada, Akuya, Kweku. I'm Kweku. I was born on a Wednesday.
Okay.
Yahweh, Thursday. Ya or Yaya, and male, Yahweh, sometimes Yaw. Friday, Efida, Efua, Efua, Afua, Afua, male, Kofi. Saturday, Amma, and male, Kwame.
So this is so interesting because we're seeing
sometimes Kwame.
Kwame. Okay. We're seeing in the comments people with these names. So we have Kwabena, which means he was born on Tuesday. Afua's on saying she was born on Friday. Cheryl says hers is Amma. Cheryl, I share Amma with you because I was also born on a Saturday. So what you all can do, and then Mary says her grandkids call her Yaya. Avanti says hers is Abena. So what you can do is you can put into Google your birth date and it'll tell you what day of the week your birth date is. And then you can look on this chart that we're going to put in the comments so that you have access to it to see exactly what your Akan day name is. Blair, can you take that down for us? And Blair's going to put it in the comments.
Don't forget that in Africa, throughout the entire continent, many languages do not have gender-specific pronouns or endings for a name. So because you see a name ending in A, don't assume that that's a female name. Okay? Or if you see a name ending in O, don't assume that that is necessarily a male name. There are some exceptions. For example, the name Asantewa, okay, and it sounds feminine, and it is, and it's exclusively a female name. Africans, in addition to the names that are given to birth, you also have Apa, for example, that denotes a twin. So you can sometimes have a name, Bosun Trek, which actually refers to a lake that is of spiritual significance. I met a man named Kwa Sama, which actually means the spirit born on Tuesday. Kwa being the truncation of Kwabena. So, and then there are nicknames. I gave a friend of mine a nickname because she was afraid to go to Akan. And so everybody in the town started calling her Osoroakwa, Akra, Osoroakwa. She's afraid to go to Akan. But you want to try to avoid something like that. Now, the other thing is, you need to do a little bit of research because sometimes names aren't what you think they are. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, we have what we call names that people give themselves, endonyms, and names that other people give them, exonyms. Now, you know the infamous exonym that a lot of white people in the United States give us. It starts with an N, but that's not what we call ourselves.
No, it's not.
Now, many of us are familiar with Yoruba, with the Yoruba. The Yoruba is actually a name given to the Owo Yoruba, Oyo Yoruba, specifically to that Yoruba kingdom by the Hausa, the northern neighbors of the Yoruba. A lot of people in southwest Nigeria have assumed actually the name, the exonym. But if they are educated and if they're familiar with their past, they won't tell you that they're Yoruba. They will tell you we are Omo Oduduwa, children of Oduduwa, or Omo Oluwabi. Okay.
Dr. Preston, let me just interject here. What you're saying is so important about how we identify ourselves. And the more we know about who we are and where we come from, the more clear we can be in our self-identification. And so what I hear you saying is that we don't have to take on the exonyms or the names that people give us, or the names that people want us to assume. But to your point, we can learn about who we are and then define ourselves through our names, as well as through many other aspects of our lifestyle.
Well, historically, a great example of that is the shedding of Negro. Now, let me give you an example of how to be careful. Before there was sufficient knowledge of the Bamana people, which is their endonym, a lot of Black Americans adopted the name Bambara. Bambara actually describes an unbeliever, an infidel, by the neighbors, by the Islamic neighbors of the Bamana. So, be careful. Some names have a nice ring to them. And you say, oh, I'm gonna, have that name. But, you need to look before you leap.
Now, were you saying Bambara, Bambara?
Bamana.
Bamana.
Okay. Bamana. The syllable, the accent is even on all three syllables. Bamana.
Bamana. And where are the Bamana? Which country?
The Bamana live in the northern part of the Ivory Coast and in the southern part of Mali.
Okay. All right. And because I thought you were saying Bambara, and I was thinking of the people in Mali. The BAM.
Bambara is the exonym. That's not what they call themselves. They call themselves Bamana.
Okay. Okay. I see. Gotcha. So it's important to know your roots so that you're calling you. Well, I just said that. Man, this is amazing. You all, I'm with Dr. George Preston, Nana,
Now, I'm gonna throw out some names
okay.
that people might be interested in adapting. I'm not going to tell you what they mean. You're going to have to do your homework. Okay, I'll tell you what part of Africa they come from. But, you know, now a feminine name that I really like is Elweji.
Can you spell it?
Elweji. L-W-E-J-I.
Okay. And where is that from?
That is from what is now the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And that's a very heavy name. And I don't speak Kikongo. Kikongo. But I can tell you that among my people, the Akan, they would say that's a heavy name. Odini dang dang.
And heavy in a meaning serious, heavy meaning what?
Important.
Important.
Of tremendous significance.
Okay. Oh, this is exciting. So you all have to look up.
So that's the name of a historical person.
Okay.
Now here's one, a location. Kisama. Kisama. The Brazilian equivalent is Kisama, but spelled with a Q-U-I-S-A-M-A. And that is a place that figures very heavy in the slave trade, but it connects Angola and Brazil. So that's a place name.
Wow. Wait, does that name have a gender?
Sorry?
Does that name have a gender?
A what?
Is it a feminine name or a masculine name? Or
it's a place. It's a place. It's a location. You can use it for male or female.
Okay.
Yeah. Now a male one from Angola is Chibunda Ilunga. Chibunda Ilunga covers Southern Democratic Republic of the Congo and also Angola. I'll spell that for you.
Okay.
C-H-I-B-U-N-D-A, and then again, capital I-L-U-N-G-A. It's a very heavy name. Chibunda Ilunga.
Woo. And that's a male, that's given to men.
Yeah. Now, here's a name of a mask. One of the most beautiful masks produced in Ghana, in Africa. It's from Gabon. Mukie. It's a couple of different spellings. M-U-K-U-Y-E. Mukuye.
Mukuye.
Or M-U-K-U-I. Mukuye. Another heavy name for a mask from Gabon, and this would be male, is Ngil. 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 But I don't want to explain too much. If you like the ring of those names, you know, because that's very important. I use my middle name because the Brazilians, they like the ring of George Nelson Preston. George Nelson Preston. They, you know, it's different from George Preston. So, Ngil, Luigi, Mukri, Chibunde Lunga, Asantewa. Another very, very heavy name, but that's only female.
Wow. Dr. Preston, your family's all in the house. Your grandpa's on, your grandchild's on here. Gifty Asamani is watching.
I'm sorry?
I was saying your family is on here watching. One of your
Yeah. Well, my daughter-in-law, her name is Nyamche. Gifty, for short, means gift of God. God, Onyami, and Che, gift. Nyamche. Nyamkye. That Kye in Akan, it doesn't come out Che, it comes out Che. Nyamche.
Namche. Gift from God.
Yes.
And so that's why her Facebook name is Gifty.
Yeah, that's her, well, a sobriquet. You know, shortening that from gift of God.
Right. Well, she is here, and I thank her for being here. Thank you all for tuning in. Let me know if you have any questions for Dr. Preston about names. I mean, he's an expert, not just about names in Ghana, but names, art. He probably knows something about everything, to be quite honest. I have a question. You mentioned how the Brazilians like the ring or the flow of George Nelson Preston. Do you have a preference for your name? Would you prefer to be called by your Ghanaian name, or?
Depends on where I am. But a lot of my friends in the United States call me Nana.
Yeah.
The title. Nana is the title given to a chief or a paramount chief or a king or an elderly person. Okay? You walk down the street in an Akan town and some child is sitting on somebody's car. Well, they wouldn't do that there. But over here, you might say, you shouldn't be on that car. And the first thing that comes out of that child's mouth is this your car? Well, in Ghana, the answer is, yes, Nana, and they move.
Wow. Terry Jays wants to know, I don't know if you can see it up on the screen. She wants to know, what does Oba Panin mean? Are you familiar with that name?
Oba Panin.
Oba Panin.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Panin is an adjective that means elder, like the elder. And Oba. Okay, now we're getting into tones now. Yeah. It could mean woman, or it could be somebody came from someplace. But that is the female elder. In other words, the female elder of that particular family or clan. So she is the Oba Panin. Oba Panin. So if your grandmother is the oldest person in your family, she's the Oba Panin.
Okay. Now.
But don't say Oba. That means something else.
Okay, we won't do that. So Mac wants to know, any thoughts on the amount of Tempes or that came over from Africa? Are you familiar with that name? Tempe, Tempie, Tempie. or Tempy. Are you familiar with that name?
No.
Okay. How about Cameroon? Do you know of any Cameroonian names?
Well, one of the most common royal names is Njoya. Ndjoye. Njoya. It's a very common royal name.
Okay, a royal Cameroon. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to put that in the notes.
A lot of the Cameroonian ethnic names have a nice ring to them, like Bamileke, for example, Banjong, Bafum.
And we have some Bamileke, I'm sure, in here on the chat, because that's one of the groups that we find ancestry, that people share ancestry with quite often. And Curtis Hardison, who is Bamileke, he says, I am Atagana to my Bamileke friends.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. This is great, you all. Thank you for these questions. Dr. Preston, people want to know how they can follow your work.
Consult the gods of Google and Wikipedia.
You also have published, though, right? Can't they publish some of your books?
Well, my most recent publication is bilingual. Is actually, my most recent publication is a catalog of my own work. That's the one
I have, I think.
Yes.
I'm going to get it. One second. I wasn't ready.
But there's also books on African art and a monogram on Emmanuel Araújo, Brazilian Afro-minimalist, Journeys of an Afro-Romantic Envoy. Yeah, I'm an envoy.
That's right. And a very important one to us in the African diaspora. This book is beautiful, you are. And so definitely consult the gods of Google to learn more about Dr. Preston's work. So, okay, can you pronounce this name one more time? The gifty's name?
Nyamche.
Nyamche.
Nyamche. Nyamche. Nyamkye. The problem is the English. Everywhere the English went, they messed up people's names. Okay. Somehow Myanmar became Burma, and Accra, the name Accra is actually Akan. I don't know what it is about them. They speak a certain kind of way, and things get a little different. So anyway, that's why that KYE sound has a che to it. It's the same unintentional mischief that led to Accra when the place is called in Crown.
One of the things I think about often too when we talk about naming is some of the ways that our ancestors here in the States chose to name their children. So I think about names like King and Sir and Queen. That was very intentional, is my understanding, so that when people addressed them, they had to address them with respect, just by the mere fact that was their name.
Queen Esther used to be a popular name in my parents' generation. in my grandparents' generation, Queen Esther.
And then, like you said, today we have some very interesting names. People are making up names completely, combining the name of the mother and the father to create a new name, or choosing something popular in the culture to name their children. Who's that?
Sun Ra, the musician. Sun Ra.
Good one. That's a good one. So I want to thank you for your time, Dr. Preston. Is there anything else that you want to tell us, teach us about names before we let you go?
Well, you know, my daughter, she's born on Friday, so her name is Efuya.
Booyah.
And I have a daughter-in-law who was born on a Friday, and her name is Efua. Okay, so don't forget there are the variants, Ya or Yaya, Yao or Yaw, Kwame, Kwamina, Kwame, Kwabena. Okay, but like, make sure you get the right day name. Okay.
And then
If you're born on Thursday, you don't want to pick Monday. If your name should be Yao, you don't want it to be Kwabena. So I will say to you, have a good night, sleep well. Daye.
all right, you guys. So my camera got unplugged, so I'm coming to you as Ty. But I want to say thank you also to you, Dr. Preston. It is really an honor and a privilege. Here we go. An honor and a privilege to have you here with us, sharing your expertise and giving us food for thought with these names that we're going to go look up and understand where they come from and what they mean. And I encourage everyone to please follow Dr. Preston's work that you can find on the internet. He is definitely a treasure for us. Yes, Barry Payton said it best. You are a treasure of knowledge, and we respect you very much. So thank you again for being here. And everybody, you know, the world, it has not opened up yet. No matter what they told you, this thing is not over. And so I want to encourage everyone to please continue to social distance. Please continue to wear your mask. Please continue to support your immune system. And please continue to support your mental health. It is so important that we stay connected. You do wonders for my mental health every Wednesday when you come on here and engage with me and our guests and share your experiences with us. So let's continue to do those things so that we can make it through to the other side. I promise that next week I will debut our theme song. And also I want to let you know that we are announcing the giveaway winner. So we had a test kit giveaway at the beginning of July, and we'll be announcing the winner at the end of this week on Friday. So I want you all to stay tuned so that you'll find out who won. Or I don't know, we may announce it tomorrow. I can't remember the date, but this week we're announcing the winner. And then there'll be another contest that starts next week. So you have another chance to win a free African ancestry test kit. And if you don't want to wait until then, you can visit AfricanAncestry.com for information about how you can get a test kit for yourself. So I will let everyone go. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you again next Wednesday. Have a very good night.